Welcome, my friends, and everybody else out there watching this video, aka APA. I know the APA has been hawkeyeing my channel, looking for anything they can find to keep the suspense. APA, thanks for all the views, guys. So guys, everyone else watching, my actual friends, got an update from the APA, and as you can tell from my soured intro, it's not the best update in the world. So the APA decided they wanted to strong arm me. They wrote me a letter with some demands. They sent me an email, which I will read to you here in a second, but it basically says, we found some validity in your appeal. Validity in my appeal? What's that even mean, Josh? It means I shouldn't have been suspended. My appeal was valid. They found validity in my appeal, but due to events which occurred after my suspension, they don't want to just unsuspend me. They want to put stipulations on it. They want me to take down my video. They want me to take down every single use of APA trademark logo in my thumbnails, which is the only place I've ever used them. That part, by the way, I went through and did. Their logo's trademark. Not supposed to use it. I won't use it. But as far as the other demands, I mean, are you for real, APA? You can digest a satchel of Richards if you think I'm going to be strong-armed into taking down my video. It's just so stupid, guys. Check this email out. Dear Mr. Powell, we hope you had an enjoyable holiday season and New Year's celebration. Thanks, APA. You guys are all right. This letter sets out the decision of the APA Appeals Committee regarding the appeal of your 2-year suspension from all APA activity that was issued on November 17th, 2023, following an incident at the Michigan State Tournament. What incident, bro? Talking about this?
Hey, good tournament you put on here, man. Good tournament, dude.
Sir, appreciate it.
Just wondering why we couldn't promote it through video recording. Do you know why? Never got an answer. Don't know why?
Because we don't want it. 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 We don't want it.
You just didn't want to promote it?
It's more things than that, Josh.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Like what?
You're not supposed to be recording in the casino.
That's not true. Been recording on the floor all day.
Not supposed to be.
Did it right in front of security. But that's in case you guys shouldn't be able to take your pictures in here either. Right? 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 If it was a casino policy. So that's what I was wondering. Full of shit, full of shit, full of shit.
The appeals committee has given your appeal significant consideration. You think? You said 7 to 10 business days. It took you 58 million years. I'm sure you did give it considerable thought. And finds validity in some of the points you made in your appeal. It means I shouldn't be suspended. By the way, I've still never gotten an actual reason that I was suspended originally. Didn't break any rules. Basically, it come down to a guy who didn't like me and didn't like me asking him questions with a camera so he could be accountable, and he suspended me over that. So where's the validity, bro? In some of my appeal. I mean, my appeal only said one thing. I didn't do anything wrong. There's some validity. It gets better. Just wait. However, it has also determined that you have engaged in activity that contravenes APA's rules, violates APA's intellectual property rights, and intentionally disregarded the suspension. These findings undercut the strength of your appeal. What are they talking about, you ask? They're about to explain. For example, following the suspension, you made statements in a YouTube video titled APA Jail, I Got Suspended. Calm down, bro. It's a title. I know, it's catchy. I know, it's catchy. About an APA league operator that were inaccurate. The inaccurate video, they're dubbing it. What's inaccurate about it, bro? What's inaccurate? It's actual video of our interaction. So what part about it's inaccurate? For example, in the video, you asserted that you would be able to record during the event and that it was Dave Fritz's fault. First of all, I did not assert that. I said that my league operator, where I currently played, said it would be okay for me to record there. However, Mr. Johnson told you that the host of the Michigan State Tournament notified APA that neither APA nor its participants could stream from the location. Guys, that's a fallacy. That never happened. My league operators, who they're referring to, Sean Johnston, he told me it wouldn't be a problem, or let me rephrase. He said it shouldn't be a problem. He doesn't see any issues with it. It wasn't until after I got there. Otherwise, why did I go? Why did I bring my camera equipment, man? Why did I show up and set my camera up if I already knew I couldn't record? Why would I do that, APA? Why would I go spend $400 on a hotel room, pay the entry fee, drag my camera gear and my ass all the way up 3 hours to play in that stupid tournament if I wasn't going to be able to record? We'll wait for an answer. Just kidding. We're not waiting, bro. It takes you 15 years to get an answer to anybody. We're not waiting. We're not waiting for that garbage. We're not. And then it goes on to say, however, despite being informed that the claims made in the video were inaccurate, you did not remove the video or the statements from the video or otherwise correct the inaccuracies. You're inaccurate, APA. APA, you are inaccurate, not me. Either Sean's lying to you or you're lying to me, bro. I don't know what to tell you. You know, you guys can figure that out internally. I really don't care. Let's move on. Let's go further. Furthermore, you were notified by Mr. Johnson that you did not have authorization to use APA's registered trademarks in the thumbnail previews for your video. The APA logos used in the thumbnails of your videos are registered trademarks of the APA. Federal law prohibits use of those logos without receiving a license from the APA, yet your videos still use APA trademark logos without permission in violation of APA's rights. It will never happen again. That I can promise you. I will no longer advertise freely for your league. Finally, APA has determined that you flaunted the suspension by continuing to participate in the APA league play after learning of the suspension. APA acknowledges that Mr. Johnson, Mr. Johnson inaccurately advised you to play during the week following suspension. However, after that, Mr. Johnson advised you to stop playing until the appeal was decided. I didn't even think about playing after I was suspended. It was my league operator who came to me and said, here's what we're going to do. You shouldn't be suspended. I'm going to go ahead and have you continue playing, file an appeal, and this should be resolved quickly. So he even informed the other teams that I was allowed to play. Blah, blah, blah. You've played at least twice and had your captain keep score out of the scorekeeper app and to go around the fact that the suspension led to the system ineligible, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show you guys an email from Sean Johnston to my team's captain. Hold on a sec, guys. I'm very thirsty. Let me get me a non-sponsored drink before I read this email. Much better. So here's what the email says. It's from Sean Johnson to my team captain. His name's Brian. You guys know Brian. He's been on the channel a bunch. Brian, I am in total agreement with you. I told the national office, I told Josh to play those matches. Not that one match like the APA would have us believe, as I was given the impression that the suspension would be overruled. Which when it got to the point it did, is why I came there that Sunday and asked him not to play until it's resolved. He came and said, hey, we got to stop playing. You know, the APA says, shame on me for letting you play. We got to stop playing until they make a decision. I said, no problem, Sean. Stop playing. As you noticed, National was okay with unsuspending Josh and allowing me to input those matches. So what happened, guys, after those matches were played, the APA unsuspended me in the system so Sean could go in and add the scores from those matches. The APA knew I played, and they unsuspended him to allow him to input the scores from those matches. I don't know. Figure it out. In hindsight, I got my ass chewed out for the matches being played, which I accepted and took the blame for that. So he told, well, at least he says he told APA, I told him to play, guys. I told him to play. So he took responsibility according to his email. So I said, somebody's not telling the truth. It's either APA or Sean. That aside, as they stated in their letter that I told Josh he cannot use those logos, I did not. He never told me that I couldn't use those logos, which is what the APA said in their letter. I did, however, a long time ago, not even tell me, he commented that he should not use them as they could cause issues someday. I don't remember that either, but I'm not saying it didn't happen. Maybe Josh didn't hear me right when I mentioned it, but it was in light conversation. With all this and the letter from National, I feel that this is an excuse to honor Dave's suspension. So the last part of Sean's email says, I have done nothing but have Josh's back during this, only to be ignored and used as the scapegoat, as it seems. I'll tell you, Sean has had my back through most. At least from what he's telling me, he's had my back. Obviously, I'm not there when he's talking to the APA. I'm not there when he's doing other business. But everything he's told me leads me to believe he's had my back through it. Draw your own conclusions there. Back to the APA letter. So here's the fun part. The APA Appeals Committee has declined to simply overturn the suspension. So they don't want to overturn the suspension. The decision is primarily based on the fact that you continued to participate in the APA league activities despite being aware of the suspension and of the fact you were not permitted to play. So we have an organization, APA, that suspended me, and then their representative, aka my league operator, tells me to continue playing. Then, when I follow the rules from what their representative tells me, they come back later and say, hey, because you did that, we're not going to unsuspend you. You ought to be ashamed. Here's where they're offering me an olive branch, right? Check this out, guys. Is it an olive branch or are they strong-arming me? What is it? I'll let you guys decide. However, it's offering to shorten the length of suspense upon you fulfilling the following conditions. In the next 3 days, remove the inaccurate video from YouTube channels. In the next 3 days, remove all uses of APA's trademarked logos from your YouTube channels, including, but not limited to, in the thumbnail previews of your videos. And 3, ensure that you have no contact with Mr. Fritz. Number 3 is no problem. Remember the last video? I moved an hour away from him just so I wouldn't have contact with that guy. It's him that harasses me, not the other way around. He's the one with the power here, right? Not me. I'm just a player, which the APA doesn't care anything about, apparently. They care about who writes them the checks. That's the franchise owner. That's who writes them the checks. But the player is the reason that the franchise owner is able to write the checks. Ultimately, the player is where the money comes from, APA, right? Not your franchise owner, it's the players. You could have 5 different franchise owners running that same division over time. He's going to sell it, someone else will buy it. They'll sell it, someone else will buy it. You should take care of the actual players when it's wrong. Because the player is the one who says, no, I like the APA. I may have had a bad league operator, but he's gone now. I'm going to go back and play for the APA. Well, now you're showing that you are the reason we have a lot of bad franchise owners. It's you that lets them get away with behaving this way. So why would they change? Pool players do not need the APA. The APA needs pool players. That's how you guys generate income. So who's losing out here, really? To everybody else out there watching, I know I've talked directly to the APA a lot, but to all my friends out there, man, who have supported me through all this, I can't tell you how good it felt seeing your comments, listening to your thoughts. I've had tons of people reach out to me with similar stories from the APA. If you're going to play APA, I advise you highly to use caution, man, because they have very little to no integrity, guys. And if you think they're going to do the right thing, think again. They're not. They're going to do what's right for them and their league operators alone. Guys, I appreciate all the support out there. We're going to continue to get videos. I've already spoken to a few other leagues. I'm kicking around the idea of maybe starting a league in this area that we can compete with the APA, because a lot of people in this area do not like playing APA. So I'm kicking around the idea of actually starting a league for one. But even until that may or may not happen, I'm going to play for a different league. And we're going to continue to bring you matches. Hopefully a league that treats their players a little better than the APA does. So that's the update, guys. I appreciate everybody, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.